I'm Igor Kayfetz, and this is the List Building Lifestyle, the podcast for anyone who wants to build a wildly profitable email list working from home. If you'd like to make six figures, travel the world, and help people improve their lives in the process, this podcast is for you. I also invite you to claim a free copy of my best-selling book, The List Building Lifestyle: Confessions of an Email Millionaire, at igorsbook.com. Get the free book plus $3,000 bonus package that includes my best capture page templates, email swipe files, and traffic blueprints. Visit www.igorsbook.com for details. And now, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle. Welcome back to the List Building Lifestyle. I'm your host, Igor Kayfetz. And today, I've got something different for you. I've invited a guy who built an incredible business in the sex niche. Yes, the sex niche. So my guest, Charles Black, teaches men how to have the sex life they deserve. And the reason I invited him is not to teach you how to have a better sex life. If you want to find out more about that, you should head over to his website, dawnofdesire.com. But today, I want to discuss with Charles, and I want you to eavesdrop on this conversation to learn a huge lesson in list building, because he went through some stuff a couple of years back that really taught him the value of owning your own audience and being in control of your cash flow. So with that said, help me welcome my guest, Charles Black. Charles, welcome to the List Building Lifestyle.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. I've been following you for some time. I think I purchased one of your courses being in an airport.
Awesome.
In Europe somewhere. I think I had a layover in Frankfurt or something. So felt like the right time to read about having a better sex life, I guess, at the time. Awesome. I'm a fan. Like, I'm a customer. I'm a fan, and I've seen what happened to you a couple of years back with your business. So I'll let you tell that story. But first, why don't you share with us, how did you come up with the idea of even going into this sort of niche or direction?
Yeah. I mean, to cut a long story short, we could say I was challenged with women as a younger man, and it led to some insecurities on my part. But the key thing that happened was that around my early 20s, I was dating a girl, and we were engaged, and she ended up leaving me specifically because I was so terrible in bed. And
oh wow, did you actually say that?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
She said, Charles, it's you know how they say it's not you, it's me. Well, in this case, it's actually you, because you're terrible. It was, I mean, seriously. Yeah. I mean, was she that mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the story's in the book that you got, actually. If you got the first book, but yeah, it all culminated in a failing relationship. I spent a lot of money to take us on a weekend away, to thinking in the naive hopes that would just, some grand gesture would fix everything. And then when we got to the hotel, everything, like it was like it had worked. Her perception had changed. Her attitude towards me was ecstatic again, like the beginning. And then up until the moment we got into the bedroom, and then as soon as the clothes came off, the disappointment was very clear, and clearer as time went on. And then if that wasn't bad enough, as that was happening, we had, I can only call it a performance from the couple next door, being very, very loud and having a much better time than us. And the contrast of that was the final nail in the coffin for that relationship, basically.
Wow, that's terrible, man. I'm sorry you had to go through it, but at the same time, I guess you chose to respond in a productive way.
So that led me down the path to become obsessed and think, what happened here? And that led me to writing the books that I that make up my business now.
Yeah, that's insane, man. Well, I'm glad that you did. That story is inspiring,
Yeah,
and just like I guess, just like many of us, we guys are we just have to learn. Some.
yeah,
I mean, there's many, maybe like a 1% who are born with that sort of intelligence, but the rest of us, man, we have to be told exactly what to do. We need a checklist or a manual or something when we hit puberty. I wish someone like came up to me at my bar mitzvah or something and be like, okay, so there's going to be a stage in your life coming up in a bit. You'll have to know some things. So here, I made this checklist
yeah.
for you. Make sure to learn it by heart,
Right.
and when the time comes, execute as stated. But yeah, it's truly crazy. But I'm really inspired by stories like this because life can sometimes throw a big pile of stinking warm crap
Oh, for sure.
at you,
Yeah,
right? And you can mold it into something beautiful. So that's great.
yeah,
Now, the reason I invited you to the show is because I know that a while back you had a big presence on YouTube, and that's how I discovered you.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
recall exactly what I was looking for, but I did end up watching one of your videos, then clicking on the link in the description of the profile and getting on your list, and I've been on your list since. But
Yeah.
tell us about that. Tell us about your YouTube experience and exactly what happened.
Yeah, it was quite a funny story, like because even though I had got to the point, how long ago was this? I guess this was 7 or so years ago now, maybe more, maybe less. Um, my friend was the one that convinced me to start this business and to start the YouTube channel. And I had the knowledge, and he had seen me give guys advice privately as a like one-to-one thing, and he was like, you have to make a business out of this. So he already had a business on YouTube, and I was like, okay, how do we do this? How do we go about it? He's like, well, you're going to take what you know and you're going to make a new video every single day. And so this is one of the smartest guys I ever met. So I was like, if that's what you say to do, that's what I'm going to do. So I just started taking what I knew, but in a sense throwing spaghetti at the wall, seeing what stuck and just making a new video every single day. But absolutely nothing worked. These videos were getting like 5 views, 10 views, whatever, like nothing. And like it's embarrassing enough to put videos on YouTube and nobody could care less about what you're doing and nobody watches. But it's another level of embarrassment when you're uh, putting yourself out there as I am the guy that knows all about sex and nobody could care less about what you're saying. So I did it for like I did it for like a month or two straight with barely any traction, tiny, mate. And then I went to my friend and I was like, look, dude, this is embarrassing. This is not working. Nobody wants to hear this. And he basically put his hand on my shoulder and he was like, dude, keep going. So I'm like, okay. So I kept practicing, kept working on all of the things that I felt were important to help with content on YouTube. And then a few weeks after that, I made a video on oral sex and it just went viral. It just absolutely took off. And I think it had a few 100,000 views within a few weeks, and then it had 1 million not long after that. And then from then on, I had that traction and I sort of had a better understanding of what was working. And I grew it quite fast after that. Like once we took off, it was definitely an exponential return still, but that was the moment, and that's where things changed. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting you say that because we're email marketers over here in the Lisbonian lifestyle universe,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
yesterday we were doing a coaching call with our paying customers, and somebody asked me, it's like, I've been mailing my list for some time and nothing, nothing's
Right.
happening. And I told them the exact same thing as your friend
Oh,
told you.
cool.
It's like, you got to keep emailing,
Yeah.
because at first, I don't know why, I really have no reasonable explanation to this, but I've seen this time and time again. The first however many weeks or months, you're mailing and nothing's happening. Like, it seems like nothing's happening. on the surface, but it's like underneath the surface, there's like something's going on. And then
Yeah,
at some
yeah,
point, it just explodes. At some point, it just starts really, really, really working. I've had the exact same experience with my list. Mailing for different products and offers and seeing basically no response. And all of a sudden, one day I would email and it had made like 7 sales or 17 sales. And I was like, it's like, oh, wait a second, is this working?
yeah,
It's working now. It's working. And
yeah,
then you get like double the drive and the passion to keep doing what you're doing.
yeah.
Um,
Because you have a lot of
so
people,
it,
right, who sit on the fence and they need to read. They need a lot of encouragement to make that leap to take the purchase. So they might read 20 emails before they decide to buy.
yeah, absolutely. That's so true. So now that you're building your YouTube channel, you're putting in the hours, you're putting the content, you're producing
Yeah.
at least a video once a day, and it's taking off. So take us to the moment, to the peak. At peak, how big was your business? How big was your YouTube presence? How big was your influence on that platform?
Yeah, it was like, yeah. I mean, so I got to the YouTube channel got to about 300,000 subscribers, and I think I had about 60 million views on the videos, and like the biggest video had like 14 million views, um, and yeah, so it was just crazy, man. And it's kind of one of those. It's a tricky channel, because I had that the views and the subscribers don't add up because there's a lot of people who are hesitant to subscribe to a channel that's about sex advice. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's a bit embarrassing, to like, especially if you've got a YouTube channel connected to your TV, like I do.
Yeah,
A lot of
exactly.
times
Yeah.
my kids watch it and my wife can see it, so it would be awkward, to have my daughter turn on like an episode of Ladybug and Cat Noir, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, the 5 ways you can eat her better. It wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I don't think my wife would appreciate it either.
No, no, no. Even if she would appreciate it, she wouldn't appreciate it in that moment.
Yes, exactly. It'd be like, damn it, Igor,
Yeah.
again. Right. So I mean, that sounds like a pretty big YouTube channel to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
And
had
that.
a tremendous influence in that niche.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So now you know, to the take us to the lowest point. What happens then?
Yeah. So sorry. Yeah. So basically, I guess it was the end of 2020. I think that it got up to about 350,000 subscribers. I think in the end, and then I come home from like a social event with some friends, watching some UFC. I sit down with my girlfriend, open my laptop, and I get this Instagram message from someone who follows the channel, and they're like, "Dude, where's your channel?" And I just immediately had this sinking feeling in my stomach, and
Yeah,
opened up my laptop, went to the channel, and it was just gone. And
just
I
like
had
that.
never, just like that, like no, like in general, the way YouTube says it, you have a 3 strikes and you're out policy. So
Yep.
if you get 3 strikes, then they'll take your channel away. But even if you get a strike after 90 days or something, you lose that strike, so you're back to zero. So, but I had 0 strikes on the channel, nothing. I had noticed YouTube doing some funny stuff with the views in the 6 months or a year leading up to that, but they had never contacted me. They had never said anything, and then it was just gone. And then they have a appeal process.
Hmm.
I sent through an email for that, and they're supposed to do a manual review. But as
Hmm.
soon as I sent the email, within like 30 seconds, I had a response like, "We've done a manual review. There's no way this is coming back." So they'd already made their
Wow.
mind up. I don't know what happened behind the scenes. I still have no clue. But yeah, it just, and then, but I mean, with the relevance of your podcast in that awful moment, I built that channel. I think it was for 4 years. I built that channel. Like pretty much my full time job was working on this content, building all of this stuff, and then it was just gone. And the only thing that saved me in that moment was having an email list. That saved everything.
Wow, wow. There's so many lessons to unpack there. First off, again, I'm
Yeah.
sorry life threw another big stinking pile of crap your way. Um, but I'm happy you were building a list because not every YouTuber does,
No.
and a lot of people on YouTube, they really think of themselves as YouTubers rather than thinking of themselves as online. Having to build an online presence or building some
Right.
kind of a media of their own, which is a list at the very least. I mean, even this podcast in a way is a media that I can control because
Yeah.
like I can publish it on
It's
my
an
website,
RSS feed,
right?
right? Yeah.
Exactly. It's just a feed. Like even if Spotify says, okay, we don't want you anymore, we can just
Yeah.
publish on the Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts and so on. So so basically you went from having one of the largest sex education YouTube channels in the world,
Yeah.
at least for guys,
Yeah.
to having
Yeah.
not to having no presence on YouTube
Yeah.
whatsoever. Not only that, it's not like
Yeah.
they just forbid you to upload new content. They actually deleted everything you've uploaded in the previous 4 years leading up to that point.
Yeah. Luckily, I had it
That's
backed up, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So now you're at that point where your primary source of new customers, I guess, vanished, and we've all
Yeah.
been there, unfortunately.
And
You
we're
know,
talking 90% of traffic.
wow, overnight, just gone, just
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, man, that sucks. So, I guess I have two questions. First one being, um, how important in that moment was your list, and how did you start engaging that list, managing that list, or what changed for you in that moment?
Well, luckily, I had been focusing on the list always. Like the whole time I had a YouTube channel, I'd always focused on the list. And the guy that suggested that I start the channel in the first place, he was also a fan of Ben Settle, so he got me interested in him. And so it was nothing so much changed with the list once that happened. Like, how do I say it? Because I informed them of what had happened, and then I kept on communicating with them as I had before, is what I'm trying to say.
Nice.
But it was just the fact that I had that meant I still had like my most loyal audience. I still could reach out. I still could contact them when I got. And the other thing was, I did end up starting some new things. I did put new videos in a new place. I did start writing more articles for my website and creating content that way. And because I had that list, I was able to jumpstart the growth of all of those things because I could push my list easily towards all of that new content that I was creating that I would have otherwise had to, like what I was saying, when I started the YouTube channel, nobody could care less. But now I never had to be in that position because I had the list that enjoyed the content I was creating and I could push them towards it.
That's awesome, man. First off, I think not only you're very smart to have been building a list, but you're also very smart to have been nailing the list, because there's a lot of people
Yeah.
out there who don't. A lot.
Yeah,
Like,
for
you'd
sure.
be surprised. Maybe 90% of people who collect email addresses from whatever platforms they work with, they don't email the list, and I just messed up as far as I'm concerned. For someone like me,
Yeah.
someone like Ben Settle, we mail our lists every single day, and
Yeah.
so I'm curious then if that's, and again, if you're not comfortable answering that, just tell me I'm crossing the line or something. But what was the rough ballpark of the list size that you managed to build from all these YouTube views prior to the moment of getting that account banned?
Yeah, I think it was like 40,000, something like that.
All right, not bad, not bad. So once you lost your YouTube channel, What happened to your income? Did it go up? Did it go down? Did it stay the same?
No, it went down.
It went down. Okay.
It went down. Like, yeah, it had to. Like, I lost 90% of my traffic, but the thing, like, I was able to survive because of the list. Otherwise I would have just been taken out instantly. Um,
Yeah.
and then I had to like focus on SEO because the list is amazing. A list is awesome, but you still need new people to be able to find you. So you need to do a list in conjunction with some sort of traffic generation, whether that be YouTube, SEO, podcast, whatever you want to do. Um, you have to do both. So the list kept me going while I was focusing on SEO and focusing on other things.
Yeah, because SEO can take some time. For
SEO can take a
me,
lot of time. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. For me, when I've got hit and served with these moments in my life, and I had to rely on my list more than I did before, I actually started launching new programs and new offers to the list.
Yeah.
And what I found is I've discovered that the people who like you, who follow you, and who trust you, they are happy to continue to buy more products from you. So what I've
Yeah.
discovered in one of these moments is, like, I would create a new program on a different topic, and I would get a cash flow injection just because of that, just
Right.
because of the novelty and having that audience. It was just an instant relief, even
Yeah.
throughout the times when things weren't necessarily the greatest. Like, for example, in my industry, it's notorious for having a really slow summer. Like in summertime, people
Okay.
tend to get distracted, from trying to make money or build a business. And you'd notice this. Like in the last week, for example, I've noticed, and it's August, as we're shooting this. So I noticed my conversions on my cold traffic went down significantly. I'm talking like by at least 60%.
Sure.
So I am able to reduce my ad spend and
Yeah.
wait it out until the start of the September, because I know things are going to pick up then. All while we continue to either run promotions to the list, or to produce new stuff to the existing audience. So what I really think a lot of people don't realize is just how much they're undervaluing their existing audience and the support that audience wants to show, because these people really want to show their support. They want to patronize your business. They want to show their support by buying stuff from you. But I don't think nearly as many list builders are doing a great job of presenting more offers to them. This is also like a big lesson for me at one point, where um, the tolerance that my best customers showed to offer exposure, that tolerance was far, far, far higher than I imagined it to be.
Absolutely. And I mean, a lot of them like hearing from you. Like, they don't feel like, oh, another email trying to sell to me. They're like, oh, awesome. Here's an email from this guy that I really like and who makes great content. And
Yeah,
I mean, I pitch in every email I write, and like, unabashedly. And I will have people email me who enjoy my content, who somehow, whatever, they accidentally unsubscribe or somehow they come off the list, and they'll be like, "Oh, hey, sorry, I love your emails. I want to get back on the list somehow. I don't know what happened." Like, people like it. You don't have to worry. People want to hear from you. They signed up for you from a reason, for a reason. Um, and that
yeah. I mean,
it's a
they're
combination of
passionate
things.
about
Like,
the topic, right? That they'll continue wanting to
yeah,
consume more content about it. Like, there's not enough
yeah,
content that I can consume about gaming, about first-person shooters, the new Call of Duty game coming out. There's not enough content I can
sure,
consume around Manchester United and all the
right,
transfer drama that's happening right now. Like, there's just, you can't bore me with it. Like, it's impossible.
right.
So anyone who's passionate about having a better sex life will continue to consume your content, and they'll crave it because it's a form of entertainment to them. It's a form of I don't want to say addiction, but it's something they want to experience more in their life.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, it's been highly entertaining, highly educational. Unfortunately, we are out of time. We have to stick to the format, guys. And this is specifically to guys listening. If you would like to learn how to have a better sex life, how to expand your horizon, how to get your partner to do the things in bed that they've been saying no to, or just to how to become a better lover, you can go and check out Charles's program at dawnofdesire.com.
Yeah.
Charles, at this point in time, I don't think you've got any digital marketing courses yet.
No.
Okay.
Just on your point of Dawn of Desire, I would suggest if they visit dawnofdesire.com, just scroll down and they can sign up and get access to the videos that were banned from YouTube. And then they can also join my email list and see the emails that I send, which may be helpful to them.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. You should definitely subscribe to Charles's list, even if you don't plan on buying his courses. And that goes for both men and women listening, as well as the non-binary people listening. I guess we have to be considerate of that. So Charles's emails are like, when you read them, you're like, yeah, this guy does the Ben Settle thing to a T. Like, to a point where at some point I even thought that Ben Settle was like ghostwriting his emails because they were so good. They're cocky, they're funny. Pay attention to Charles's spelling of the particular spam triggering words. That this is actually a trick I stole from you, Charles. I'll be honest. I now use it with our own stuff, like the way you misspell the word sex and stuff like that. I now do the same for words like freedom, opportunity, money, get rich, and stuff like that. It's really, really helpful for email delivery. So guys, head over to dawnofdesire.com, scroll down, you'll be able to see all the videos that got banned off of YouTube. You'll be able to get on Charles's list, and you should subscribe and read his emails. And Charles, I just want to thank you for taking the time to sit down with me to do this episode. I wasn't sure what to expect when I reached out to you, but I felt it would be extremely important to help our audience see and understand exactly why they should be building their own list.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It was fun. Yeah, I enjoyed the experience. Thank you very much.
Awesome. All right, guys. So this is it for the List Building Lifestyle. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for listening to the List Building Lifestyle. Get access to the previous episodes, transcript of today's show, as well as other exclusive content at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. Also, remember to claim your free copy of my best-selling book at www.igorsbook.com. It explains how I made millions with list building starting from scratch. Plus, I'll give you $3,000 worth of free bonuses, including my best landing page templates, email swipe files, and traffic blueprints. Go to www.igorsbook.com now to claim your free package.